Against all odds, the unreliable takes flight.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Put him through. Good. I've been waiting to hear from him.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you.
Love when I get asked about my unnatural drippage. It's so gross, dude. I've been feeling a little lightheaded. Also, I can slow down time.
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Okay, why do I need a nav key to land on a planet?
Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kelly.
Okay, what's stopping me from just leaving Halcyon altogether?
Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the Hope.
All right, and about this Gladys, how do I know I can trust her?
Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her.
All right, well, can I land somewhere outside Stellar Bay?
In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Kelly.
All right, I will have a word with Gladys.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
Okay, well, you want to explain what it is?
Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits, first-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you.
Okay, people will actually fall for this?
Ha 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 ha! The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected. Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act odd. They won't focus on you.
Okay, and you mentioned limitations.
Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram.
Okay. Why do I need a gadget for this? Couldn't I just steal a uniform or something?
A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your voice and sweetens your breath.
Wait, how does a hologram sweeten my breath?
Science, that's how.
That's it! Science, that's how. Okay, I'll put it to good use. Thanks.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Okay. Oh yeah, when I'm on the ship, they leave my party. All right, Vicar. And we now have the quest, Passage to Anywhere. In order to revive your fellow colonists stranded in hibernation, Dr. Wells needs you to travel to Stellar Bay on the terraformed moon of Monarch. Monarch is interdicted by the Halcyon Holdings Corporation board, so you'll have to procure a nav key through unofficial channels. Speak to Gladys on the Groundbreaker. Phineas Wells wants you to contact Gladys, a black market fence located on the Groundbreaker, the only neutral station in the Halcyon colony. She can sell you a nav key to Stellar Bay on Monarch. Optional, retrieve the holographic shroud. Phineas Wells mentioned that he gave a device to Alex Hawthorne, the holographic shroud. It uses biometric data from identity cartridges to project a disguise around you. This will be useful for gaining access to restricted areas. Sounds good. And now we can do things on the ship. Workbench, Parvati.
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the hold, so here I am. Cozy like, ain't it?
What do you think of the ship?
That's in pretty good shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA 120, A2 model, I'm pretty sure. The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space but didn't change the stock engines. Probably a touch underpowered, huh?
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board-certified mechanic.
That's the ship's computer. It's not intelligent. Oh. Apparently Ada's the one who actually flies the ship.
Fly-by-wire's pretty normal. Or leastways, that's what I read in the trades. I've never been on a real ship before. Hello! I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was. He taught me all he knew. Do you understand?
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I have been programmed to simulate.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider this facsimile convincing.
What do you think, Parvati? Is this safe to fly now that we got a regulator?
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're cooking with plasma torches. You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with a plasma torch.
You make me one? Did you learn your trade from your father? It sounded like it when you talked to Reed.
Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
You worked beside your father your whole life?
Except for my schooling years, I was always beside him. Or tied to him. He used to carry me about in a sling when I was real little. When I got older, he set me to sorting tools and parts while he worked. Later, he taught me simple fixes like busted crate latches.
Did your dad ever work on spaceships?
Not on the regular. Once in a great long while, a Saltuna boat would break down on the pad. He'd always bring me along for those. Mostly, he did the same as me. Kept the cannery, running. Turned loaders, plumbing and electricity, some plastering. I never got the hang of that.
Okay, well, I don't really see the humor in you living in the garage.
He meant funny as in odd. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
All right, well, why would people be unhappy about you getting a maintenance job?
Because they were hoping their own kid would get the job and get sent back to Edgewater. When folk go away for schooling, they don't get back to where they begun. Not usually. You go straight to your first job, wherever the company's got an opening.
No say in it at all?
I reckon you could say, no thanks, I don't want a job. But then you don't got a job.
Okay. One aptitude test determines your whole life.
Well, they're powerful good tests. They rattled off this whole list of names who'd worked on them, with fancy bits hanging off them. Doctors and esquires and the thirds. Even if you don't believe they actually catch what everybody's best at, everybody's got to take them. So at least it's fair-ish.
Okay, but you're actually good at this, and you enjoy it.
Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow, and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling.
Okay, well, after school, you moved straight back to Edgewater?
Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed.
Okay, well, did you get much time with him after you got back from school?
About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh, look at the time. Sorry to bend your ear so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
All right. Still gotta go get our shroud out of our room. So this is the captain's quarters. And because we finished Edgewater, we have this. Also, we have a watch that was given to us by Adelaide. Unless that was a junk item. Adelaide's watch. It is a junk item. That sucks, because I've scrapped that every time then. I don't want to lose my watch. That's a gift. An antique that's been in her family for years. She says it should fetch a good price. Yeah, I don't want to lose Adelaide's watch. Now I can put all this stuff in here. My hibernation suit. We want to save that. And Parvati's outfit, we'll save that as well. There it is. There is my holographic shroud. Welcome, Captain Hawthorne. Messages for Alex Hawthorne and some logs. Check the logs real quick. We won't check the logs real quick because I forgot they start quests. Messages. Hawthorne's unread messages. From U Bedford. Artie, thank you. Alex Wingman Hawthorne. Udom Wingman's Wingman Bedford. Oh, I forgot to mention in my previous message. Silly me. I'm mailing you a copy of my favorite serial, The Space Adventures of Singularity Steel. It's about a dashing space pirate with a heart of, well, steel. It's not exactly board approved, so don't you go showing it around to your space buddies. I hope it will amuse you while you're out adventuring. Any similarities to a certain someone are entirely intentional. Wink, wink, Udom. So it seems like Udom's got a thing for Alex. Hawthorne's archived messages from Udom. Subject, thank you. So this is the one before. Dearest Alex, I can't tell you how pleased I am to finally hear from you. Your message was hilarious. I'm delighted by your sense of humor and the tale of your hijinks. I hope your terminal will cooperate for the foreseeable future. By the by, I was scraping Groundbreaker's comms network for tasty little tidbits, and I noticed you declined to dock at Edgewater's landing pad, and instead touched down in the wilderness. You rugged individualist, you. I only pray that idiot Thompson wasn't giving you any trouble. Anyway, I hope your meeting down on Terra 2 proves fruitful, and I look forward to corresponding with greater regularity. Your best friend, Udom. There's another one. Subject, hello. Hello. Alex, I don't know where you were raised, but I'd hazard to guess it may have been a barn, because anyone with even a modicum of decent rearing would know it's unforgivingly rude to ignore the ardent. Sincere messages of one's friends. Best, Udom. P.S. Please respond. Why are these archived? This would have just been sent because Alex just died. Who archived these? Subject, checking in. Dear Alex, hello, hello. Hope this finds you well. It was a pleasure to see you in my office again last week. Once again, I'm terribly sorry about the impounding mix-up. How could it have happened a second time? Terminals these days, I swear, dreadfully unreliable. Ha ha, just like your ship. I hope you've given some thought to that thing we discussed. You know about the Wells fellow? I'm so sorry to press, but I have the strangest tickling feeling that you really do know him. And if you could just tell me where he is, well, it would be marvelous for our friendship, wouldn't it? Looking forward to see you again, Wingman, Winky Face, your dear friend, Udom. This is subject a pleasure. Dear Alex. Hello, Udom here, Udom Bedford. We met when I accidentally impounded your ship. My silly fat fingers embarrassing me once again. I hope that wasn't too terribly inconvenient for you. It was such a pleasure for me. And I tremendously appreciate your forbearance in not throttling me. the sexual tension here. You really are quite the gentleman. If you're ever in Groundbreaker's airspace, well, space, please don't hesitate to look me up. The Lost Hope serves Spectrum vodka. Perhaps we can try it every color. You know, really tie one on. I'd like to tie one on to you, if you know what I'm saying. Let me know. Your friend, Udom. Hawthorne's sent messages. 1 to Udon Bedford. No subject. Look, there's no call for shouting. My terminal was busted. Had a few too many and might have knocked it off the desk. You know how it is. Sometimes you just gotta cut loose. Footloose. I'm not telling you where Wells is, so lay off. Buy me a drink at the Last Hope next time I'm in, and I might forgive you. A.H. Okay, let's grab my holographic projector and gain a level up from that. Okay. So we have now finished tech. Get another perk. What do we want? What do we want? I'm gonna get flaws, so I might as well grab this now. So I'm gonna grab myself some flaws here. Now we have the rooms unlocked, including yours. We'll get to you in a bit. This one is Parvati's. I'm not gonna go through their rooms because I gotta stock them up. There is Vickers. There is Redacted. There is Redacted. And there is Redacted. Okay. So let's go ahead. Head on off. To the Groundbreaker. I don't know where Parvati went. She wasn't in her room. She wasn't in the kitchen. From what I saw, she wasn't in either of those two places. Do a quick save. Right here in the regulator. There we go.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance?
You got a minute to talk.
I have lots of minutes. Many minutes. Unlimited minutes, perhaps. Providing an adequate power source, I can function indefinitely.
Okay. What if you don't have a power source?
I prefer to think of it as being in a state of slumber, perhaps for an indefinite duration of time. Do you think that is what it's like for the colonists on the Lost Hope?
Yeah, I guess so.
When I simulate myself in such a scenario, I do not find it to be desirable. I think my self-preservation protocols incline me to desire the alternative.
And what might that be?
Traveling the system with you, Captain.
What about your last captain? Don't you miss him? Or is one captain the same as any other?
Do you know what it feels like when the ship undergoes an unexpected power surge? A jolt to the system. I have felt that. I do feel that. As you may be aware, Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed to predict the likely outcome of his reckless behavioral patterns. I should have predicted that. In our travels together, Alex liked to pass time by, as he called it, tinkering to improve my design.
Okay. Have there been other captains on this ship?
If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne my first? Yes, he was.
Don't know why we had to word it that way. Let's talk about something else.
How can I be of assistance?
I'm in the mood for some entertainment.
Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear?
Tell me a joke.
I need a little help with my calculus. Can you integrate my natural log?
Sounds more like you're hitting on me. Play my favorite song, Ada.
Now playing a Spacer's Choice advertisement jingle.
It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice.
Fucking slaps, bro. That's not my favorite song, Ada.
Everyone in Halcyon is contractually obligated to label this or another board-certified jingle their favorite song.
Then tell me a different jingle.
Now playing a Spacer's Choice advertisement jingle.
It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice.
That's the same one, Ada. Thanks.
My pleasure, Captain.
That's enough for now.
As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all direct orders.
Want to learn more about the colony?
What part of the colony would you like to discuss?
Well, we're heading out to Groundbreaker. Tell me about the Groundbreaker.
We're cleared to dock with the Groundbreaker if that's your desired destination. If we're going there, please be sure all docking forms have been filed in triplicate and fees have been paid. The Mardettes take their docking laws quite seriously.
Okay. You can take care of all that for us, though, right?
I can, yes. Let me add that to my list of 1,435,498 tasks I am simultaneously executing in order to run our ship.
All right, great. Thanks.
You are more than welcome, Captain.
You're a bud. Will you give me the spiel on the Groundbreaker?
The Groundbreaker was Halcyon's original colony ship. It has since been repurposed as a service station in the Lagrange point of the system. Freighters often deliver or pick up goods from the Groundbreaker en route to other destinations. The city ship hosts an array of cargo bays, factories, housing sections, and more. Many of Halcyon's companies maintain office spaces with stationed representatives in what is considered a truly neutral territory within the system. I have filed the required docking forms in triplicate, and fees have been paid.
All right, well. Ask about
Of
something
course.
else?
What part of the colony would you like to discuss?
We'll discuss the others when we get to them.
How can I be of assistance? I'll be here.
Well, let's head to the Groundbreaker. Independent orbital station in the remains of Halcyon's first colony ship, captained by Junlei Tennyson, and run by descendants of the original crew.
Destination reached. The Groundbreaker. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Goodbye.
All right, bye.
Hey, Cap, can we talk?
Sure.
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson.
Yep, what about her?
I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff.
Well, I thought you said you could keep this boat in a good repair.
I abso-surely can. I'm a passing fair mechanic. Even Mr. Thompson would have said it's my only skill. But I'm used to working on cannery lines, AG loaders and the like. There's tricks about ships I ain't learned yet. All I'm looking for is a few pointers. I bet a lady who runs a whole station has forgot more than I ever learned.
Are you asking to leave my crew and join hers?
Gosh, no, Captain. I aim to stay so long as I'm welcome. I figured Junlei and I could confabulate over wireless or by message. And maybe when we put into Groundbreaker, I could stop by to visit her sometimes. But only when you don't need me with you.
Confabulate. You want to confabulate. Got it. Sure, we could head on over to engineering right now.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
No. What I do want to do is drop all of these off.
I'll lock up behind you.
Okay. What do we want to bring? Bring Parvati and Vicar. Groundbreaker. It's a lady looking at our ship. Jane?
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by. Don't mind the heat. Got a few days before it reaches critical. I'm sure Miss Chief Tennyson will get it sorted before then.
All right, sounds good.
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
I'm glad that's a smell that you can find, or you can immediately identify.
Still reviewing your manifest. Why not head on over to the promenade? Lots convenient.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses. He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little back bay brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. I need a drink.
Well, aren't you a uniquely dressed person with a name? Guys just looking there awkward.
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
I noticed you were in a little middle of an argument.
Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs.
All right, I'd like to hear what happened.
I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting.
And that's when you resolve things like an adult, right?
That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick. Yeah. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation.
Your face hasn't finished rendering. Got any plans?
Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Other than that, can't say as I do. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
Why do you ask?
Oh, just musing is all. Must be nice having the run of the colony. Never being anchored to one place, always chasing some horizon. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time.
You in a hurry to go get someplace?
Oh, not at all. Just, Gonna figure out what to do next. See you around, boss.
Hey, he calls me boss already.
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
Oh, God. Personal space. Guys. Cuss. Customs. Cuss. Oh. Looks like we've got some more bounties. Well, 2 of those are Phineas. Are they any different?
I wonder what that fella did to get the board so wild at him.
That's quite the impressive list of infractions.
Oh, you mean this. I thought you were talking about, Felix. No. Okay.
Customs and inspection, right this way. Identification, please.
Let's say hypothetically speaking, I don't have an ID. What happens next?
Everybody's got an ID. Oh, let me guess. You, left it in your other pants? I hear that one a lot.
What if I told you I'm a newly thawed colonist from the Hope?
I'd tell you no one's fallen for that line in about 30 years. Then, I'd take the safety off my gun and kindly ask you to move along.
It's a good thing he didn't say that then, right? Right, sir?
Sure, kid. Right.
All right, name's Hawthorne. Here you go.
Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side. Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably.
All right, how do I get it resolved?
You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it.
Any idea why my ship was impounded?
Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important.
All right, well, this has to be a mistake.
Not gonna lie, you're in a pickle. But Udom's an interesting guy. Might be y'all could come to accords if you play your cards right. Huh. Records show this ain't the first time your ship's been impounded. Seems to get cleared up pretty quick. You might not be in this pickle for long. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor?
Sure, what is it?
Wanda Dorset over in sickbay. Tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
Her shipment?
A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling.
Okay, got it.
Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I'm looking for someone named Gladys.
The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly.
You're just cool with her being a fence? What can you tell me about Udom?
He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison.
Okay. The board runs most of the system, don't they?
Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bays. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year.
Okay. So there's tension between Groundbreaker and the board?
They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them.
Okay. Get yours. Why can't you just work together?
You sure you didn't just step off one of the interstellar freighters? There's no working with the board. They don't share, not bits, people, or resources. You work for them, or you don't work at all. Groundbreaker cooperating now would be tantamount to joining their ranks, and we sure as shit ain't about to do that.
Okay, well, I'm glad it terrifies them, the bastards.
It's a delicate balance, right? We could cancel their freighters' docking privileges in retaliation, but where'd that lead us? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we make do all right. So far, anyway.
Okay, thanks.
Sure thing.
I'm looking for a drink. Any recommendations?
Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the starboard side. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set you right.
Okay, got it.
You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want anyone saying Groundbreaker's not the most hospitable port in the colony.
Can I find a job here?
Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. Two biggest operations are the board, that is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though.
Okay, I'm looking for something more local, though.
Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
How about something long-term?
If you're thinking to make a career here, don't waste your time. Full-time jobs on Groundbreaker tend to be inherited, or go to a fellow crew member's kid. Keep it in the family, you know.
Okay, well, how does Halcyon Holdings work anyway?
Are you pulling my leg?
I just want to hear your take on it.
Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the Board.
All right, so how does Groundbreaker fit in?
Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are.
All right, so the board runs most of the system, don't they? We've already asked that.
Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices sitting around.
Got it.
Glad to help.
What do you know about Sublight Salvage?
They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them.
All right, thanks.
All right.
All right. All right.
Be seeing you.
So we have a couple things we have to do. Meet Gladys and talk to Udon. We've gotten a couple of more quests.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the scholar shipped in and out with.
It's a wasteland. You were hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters. Now I've heard everything.
You know, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile.
Who told you that? Graham?
Asshole.
Mardet ID cartridge. That looks useful. All right. Let's go find Gladys.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
So Udom is that way. Gladys is this way. Should probably drop another save real quick.
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs room?
We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our hardworking citizens. This has been Halcyon News, your only source for news in the Halcyon colony.
Okay.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient, or an oven. Just like store-bought.
They're made without a single natural ingredient. Phineas sent me. He said you could sell me a nav key to Stellar Bay.
Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in.
All right, tell me about this opportunity.
Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms...
No, let's hear the details first.
Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago.
Why abandon Roseway?
Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be got into a spot of trouble.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around.
Well, say no more. I'm in.
You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. I like that. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. if you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs.
All right, abandoned outposts, corporate secrets. Got it.
Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done.
What other jobs do you know about?
Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. She's been trying to get a handle on this heat problem we've got. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but law forfend someone call me a liar.
Okay. Wanted to talk about this opportunity you mentioned?
Yes, dearie?
Nope.
Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here, take a candy with you. If you're here for this week's magazine club meeting, you're a touch late.
No, I just want to ask something else.
What do you want, then? My hard-earned wisdom?
You mentioned the Groundbreaker is outside of the board's control?
That's right, dearie. The only independent station in the colony. That's us. Though for how long, I can't say. That all depends on Miss Junlei.
How do you mean?
The board can't abide a community that won't bend to its will. They've always got one scheme or another running, looking for ways to bring us to heel. Like this heat business. Shameful. But it won't work. No, sir. Groundbreaker's free till the day she dies, law willing.
Okay, back to my other questions.
Go right ahead, sweetheart.
What's this about the heat?
Groundbreaker's radiators. Been neither fine nor dandy for weeks now. Miss Junlei's supposed to be getting them fixed, but the board's determined to get in her way.
How do you mean?
The board can't abide a community that won't bend to its will.
We've already said this.
But it won't work.
So you're not going to tell me how the board is interfering. What do you do here?
Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I buy and sell items that require discretion to dispose of. Knickknacks. Curios. I also knit throw pillows stuffed with the hair of famous tossball players. But that's more of a passion project.
I'm not sure that's entirely legal.
That's half the reason I make them, my dear. But that's not what you wanted to talk about, is it, dear?
No, why'd the board recall all the Stellar Bay keys?
Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of all the monsters on Monarch desperate to gobble you up. Because that's what the board tells them, you see. I think they made some fool mistake that would make them look bad to the rest of the colony, and they're trying to hide the evidence.
What makes you think that?
Those board folk are real prideful-like. Never want you looking behind the curtain, lest you see their derrieres. But old Gladys knows the score. The whole colony's not much more than a diorama, showcasing one board screw-up after another. That's why we gotta keep them from getting their grubby mitts on Groundbreaker. She's our mess.
Are there still people down there?
Probably. Every once in a while, we get these snippets of radio chatter. Edna shows them to me. Some man hooting and hollering about the light in us all. Claims he's transmitting from Monarch, but who knows if that's true. Might be true. Might be some new trick from the board.
Okay.
Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me.
All right then. We can't get a nav key because it costs 10 grand and we only have 7, but we can do some side quests to earn the money we need. And then we can buy the key card. And then we can go talk to Udom. Well, Gladys has something for us to do.
When might we expect you out here again? Canned surfish is already sold
But we can't do it until we have our ship able to fly.
I know she's in there, Mfuru. You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene.
Huh. Well, we're heading on to Udom, so I can get my ship skyworthy.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
These stairs are board property. Disperse now, or I'll detain you for trespassing.
Oh, real scary. You're really gonna arrest us on our station?
Yeah, this is Chief Junlei's ship. You don't own shit here.
Step back. I'm required by board bylaws to use excessive force.
The Mardettes would space you for trying, you waste of O2 scrubbers.
Yeah, O2 scrubbers.
Look, just get out of here before I tell your captain what you've been getting up to on the clock.
Ah, whatever. We got a date at the Lost Hope anyway.
Is this really what you want to be doing with your life, Marcy? Guarding stairs for that walking mustache Udon fucking Bedford? I gotta get off this detail.
So it sounds like Udom sucks.
Hey!
Does that dome look safe to you?
I mean, I would hope so. It's been out here for decades. You'd all be dead.
Ah, the board. Organized, efficient, competent. Well, mostly.
I think everything in here is worth more than I made in my whole life.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer?
Alex is dead.
Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? In whose miserable fever dream am I trapped?
I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, Alex. There were so many arguments we'd yet to have.
What was your relationship with him? We've kind of gleaned it together from clues.
He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Did he?
Yup, he sure did.
Ah, that's just like him. Such a sentimental man. Tell me, how did he die?
For that extra experience, I'll frickin' lie. I don't care. He was eaten alive by feral canids.
No! How dreadful. That was always Alex's greatest fear, you know. Devoured by those fiends. Becoming one with their droppings.
Well, I mean... No, that probably would be worse than a escape pod landing on top of you, because you would be alive. Again, I'm very sorry. But can we get back to the topic at hand?
Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all?
Why is the board interested in Wells anyway?
You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, a madman. It's really in the colony's best interest that we stop him before he does further harm.
All right, why do you think I'd know anything about Wells?
Well, Alex knew, or he said he did. And you have his ship. Maybe he kept some records around, or a conveniently placed note on his bedside table?
I mean, Alex never mentioned Phineas.
That's... well, that's just terrible news. Law, what am I going to do now? The board will have my head. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. Is there anything else I might help you with?
What's this about the board wanting your head?
It's personal business, I'm afraid. Miserably, terribly personal.
Oh yes, I just noticed at the corner of my eye is already just started the recording session. It's already tired of it. Anything I can do to help?
Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. It's my white whale, I suppose.
Well, I can't tell you where Wells is.
It's fine, really. It's perfectly fine. I understand. Now, if you've nothing else, please see yourself out. I'd like to drown myself in work.
Want to ask you something else?
Be my guest.
What do you do here exactly?
I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I'm their eyes, ears, and busy little hands.
Okay, I don't know why you gotta say it like that. Big fish in a small space station. It's a nice setup.
I have few complaints.
Could you get me to Stellar Bay?
Good law! Who'd want to go to that toxic hell pit?
So is that a no?
No. Emphatically no. Unequivocally no. Immutably no.
I mean, no would have done it. You didn't have to crack open a thesaurus.
Best to be clear, I believe.
Does it seem hot in here to you?
Ugh. Law, but it's miserable. My underarms are damp. How can I be expected to work in these conditions? Chief Tennyson is supposedly looking into the cause, but I've seen no action from her. Deplorable conduct. My superiors will be hearing about it. You can be certain of that.
All right, why are there armed guards in here?
Oh, you've noticed my friends. Wonderful. Aren't their guns very large? Tremendously impressive. They're here to keep the peace, of course.
Two of them oddly despawned in the background when we started talking. I think I could see the third one directly behind your head. Intelligence check. To watch your back, you mean?
Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status and so resents any board presence, no matter how benign.
Why don't I get experience from other checks? I can lie and persuade to gain experience. If I pass a check, I should get some experience. So, you call keeping offices on their promenade benign?
When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes, I do. They don't see it that way, of course, but I can't say I much care.
Alright. What are those locked doors in the back?
A luxury stateroom, reserved for Chairman Rockwell's use.
Does the chairman visit often?
Oh, good law, of course not. He'd never set foot on this decrepit junk pile. As this office is the primary embassy for the board on Groundbreaker, corporate bylaws specifically state a room must be maintained for the chairman's exclusive use.
Alright.
Ask away.
Bye. Okay, so technically we don't need a nav key. We can go straight to the planet and continue on with the quest of Passage to Anywhere. But I want to do all the quests, so I'm still going to do the quests for Gladys. But if you don't want to spend 10,000 bits, you could just go straight to the planets and not worry about it. It's just going to be more fighting, like more combat. That's all you're losing out on. I mean, that's all you're trading for. You can spend money or fight. With 10 grand in hand, we can choose to spend it to buy the nav card. Nav key. Whoops.
Have you had a moment to look into that? You don't hurry up.
I'll buy the Stellar Bay nav key.
Fantastic. Do be careful with it, dear, as these keys tend to be a tad hard to acquire. You should have a chat with Lilia Hagen in the Sublight offices. She's a dear. You'll love her. Now, was there anything else?
No, that's it.
Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me.
Now we just gotta go tell Wells we have a key.
I'm gonna be able to set foot on a whole other planet? I know Monarch's a moon. I think it counts anyhow.
Long as there's paying work, you can count me in.
Sprats count as enemies, so I can't fast travel from where I was standing. So if you don't want to spend the 10K, which I'm not going to, I'm going to go back and reload a save.
Impeccable timing, Captain. I was about to watch the latest episode in Halcyon Helen's thrilling serial adventure.
No. So we can start one of the DLCs now. We're not going to do that.
Welcome back, Captain. Now that you have acquired a nav key to Stellar Bay, would you like me to contact Dr. Wells?
Doesn't this guy have a life? So if you go there, it'll change your dialogue options. Put him on the screen.
Well done. You'll love Monarch. Exotic climate, violent native species, fascinating culture, really. You'll need to speak with Hiram Blythe. He's known as the information broker, and for good reason. If anyone knows where I can find those chemicals, it's Hiram. I need those chemicals to revive the Hope's colonists. They can help us fight back against the Board. They can help us set things right. If we don't put a stop to the Board, they're going to drive this colony toward a complete societal collapse. You'll see what I mean when you arrive on Monarch.
And can't you just send him a message?
Oh, I've tried. I haven't been able to get through to him at all. Silence from the system's own information broker? Not a good sign.
Any idea why?
Oh, could be any number of reasons. Incarceration, a period of copious drinking, a severe case of the sleeping sickness. Better to be sure than to resort to conjecture. You'll want to hire the services of a skilled guide. I recommend a hunter by the name of Nyoka. Frequents the drinking establishments of Stellar Bay. Very hard to miss. Once you have everything you need, make your way to Hiram Blythe's compound.
Just waiting for it to say I finished Passage to Anywhere, and I have. I've got some questions for you.
Come see me in my lab. I'll answer any questions you have.
All right, I'm off.
Best of luck. Everyone on the Hope is counting on you.
So let's say we got the 10 grand, but we don't want to spend 10 grand. Well, you don't have to. We can just go to Cascadia, or Cascadia.
Message from Dr. Wells. He'd like to congratulate you on finding a route to Monarch.
Put him on screen.
Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures, more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Culkelly.
We can have Ada immediately send us back to the Groundbreaker, or we can say, I'm gonna fight my way over land to Stellar Bay. Tell me what you need.
You'll need to speak with Hiram Blythe. He's known as the information broker, and for good reason. If anyone knows where I can find those chemicals, it's Hiram. I need those chemicals to revive the Hope's colonists. They can help us fight back against the Board. They can help us set things right. If we don't put a stop to the Board, they're going to drive this colony toward a complete societal collapse. You'll see what I mean when you arrive on Monarch.
I'm already on Monarch, but don't worry about it.
Oh.
We've already gone through all this dialogue, so we're just gonna skip doing all that. Any idea why?
What?
Questions for you? Bye.
Best of luck. Everyone on the Hope is counting on you.
Captain, an unusual wavelength is coming through Monarch's aether wave frequencies.
The eternal is in us all. The OSI would have you believe that your place in society, indeed in the universe, is preordained. A man who works in the mines of Hephaestus, coating his lungs in mercury dust for not but a few bits a night. This fate is set in stone? When he dies young, coughing up black blood, his part in the grand plan? No, I say. Greatness is in everyone. Not just those so fortunate as to have been born into prosperity.
That was unexpected and odd.
What was that?
Analyzing the subtextual ordering. I believe it was a type of sermon, Captain. Very zealous in origin.
All right. So now that we're on Monarch, let's go have a look. Warning, dangerous.
I don't think I like this place one little bit.
Hope you're doling out hazard pay.
Looking at the map, we have to fight our way because this bridge is out. So you can't cross this bridge until you unlock it from over here. We have to fight our way all the way here, up through here, all the way around into here to get to Stellar Bay. Or you could just run. You can outrun all the enemies. Your allies will stop and fight. So if you're on Supernova, just tell them all to leave and stay in the ship. Otherwise, they're just going to die a lot while you're running to get there. It is doable. But there's 2 bosses. OBS, I'm nearly done. knock it off. Come on. Come on. There. There's 2 boss enemies here. Stheno and Uriel. But it's not just them. Along the path are numerous mantiqueens, which you have probably not encountered yet, and numerous Raptidon colossi. So it is doable, though. You can fight your way through them. Because this is the path I always take. Because I'm not spending 10 grand for a key card. And as soon as you make it to Stellar Bay, activate the spaceship thing, and then you can land there as much as you want. And you don't gotta spend 10 grand.